Hello, we're back. Brian Sullivan, President of Nassau County Correctional Officers Benevolent Association. Following up on my original topic, which was about the protocols and what to do if you're symptomatic or asymptomatic. Anybody that is out positive with COVID-19, you're going to be contacted by the union, most likely Dennis Morris, who is going to make sure that you have a package of paperwork filled out, which will include making sure that you filled out the exposure forms for what happened to you. There'll be an 85I regarding illness or injury to an officer. There will also be an injury to officer report that's filled out. Anybody that's out on our job, from the beginning, we may have missed one or two people when the whole thing first started, but anybody that's been out, the union has been going to your houses and dropping off a supply of masks to protect you and your family, N95 masks and surgical masks, things like that. What you're going to get reached out to by the union about is workers' comp. Just so everybody's sure and we're all on the same page. Right now, New York State workers' comp does not cover COVID-19 because COVID-19 didn't exist until a couple of months ago. So there are a lot of proposed legislations, a lot of proposed bills in Albany about changing the workers' comp law to cover us for 207C, cover us for workers' comp cases going forward, which is why, in conjunction with our workers' comp attorney, our retained attorney, Sean Reardon, we're going to make sure that all of your proper paperwork is filled out because, as I said with the protocols, we learned a lot of lessons from 9/11 years ago that failure to have the proper documentation changes things down the road. God forbid we find out in 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years that COVID causes something else. You know, God forbid it causes cancer, it causes diabetes, it causes something else. We need to have all this documentation put in place for all of our people down the road. You're going to be reached out to by our attorney Sean Reardon. There's going to be phone numbers and stuff that you can contact them if you haven't heard from them to make sure that we file workers' comp cases for you and 207C paperwork. So when you start getting a phone call from Dennis or anybody from the union, that's what that's all going to be about. We have to make sure that the proper documentation is done, and it all starts with the exposure